He was a baller in his day, and now he is a head coach, two-time MVP, eight-time All-Star, Hall of Famer, and now Nets head coach Steve Nash. Welcome to The Jump.
Thanks for having me.
So nice to see you. You know, your hire surprised just about everyone. Please tell us, how did all of this come about?
Well, it's been a long process, very informal for me, obviously playing 18 years in the league, always being super inquisitive, loving to challenge myself in new ways. It's been something that I've thought about in the back of my mind and gained momentum with that thought more in the last couple of years. You know, it was a moment in time where I thought of all the experiences that I've put together, of all the kind of note-taking I've done, that it's time for me to step out and take a challenge. So I asked Sean Marks if he would put my name in the hat, and you know, here we are. But it's been a long process outside of this recent development.
Well, I have two questions off of that. First, how many notebooks must you have if you've been taking notes the whole time? And also,
it's up here, Rachel.
I love it. So did you reach out to Sean Marks before anyone from the Nets contacted you, or did you and Kevin Durant talk about it first?
No, I reached out to Sean. You know, he and I have been friends, teammates, competitors for 20 years.
Yeah, for a long time.
So we've talked many times about many different things. You know, but I was definitely the one that reached out to him.
Well, you do have two superstars ready to return next season, KD and Kyrie Irving. So what is your relationship like with each of those guys?
Well, Kevin and I have a great relationship. We spend a lot of time together. We worked together formally with the Golden State Warriors, but even prior to that, in my career and post-career, we've worked together on the court, developed a great relationship. So Kevin and I have a great history. Kyrie and I, you know, we have a friendship too. I haven't spent as much time with him, but when I retired, I spent a couple days in New York City. You know, I admire him greatly as a person, the things he's done for his communities. But as a basketball player, I'm in an incredible position to get to coach someone as talented as Kyrie Irving.
Point guard to point guard. You did work with the Warriors, as you mentioned, as a player development coach. What was your biggest takeaway from that time, other than, I assume, just everything Steve Kerr did the opposite, because he has not been successful at all?
I was glad you say that. I didn't want to crush him on national TV here, but
I know.
You know, it was incredible. I mean, obviously to work with great players, you know, the Steph, Clay, Draymond, Kevin, and down the line, you know, so many tremendous people. Steve Kerr obviously speaks for himself, his staff. Bob Myers, you know, to watch an organization win and to win up close and to see how they operate was invaluable training and experience for me. My relationship with Steve goes back a long time. He's always been a confidant and advisor to me, always kind of mentored me in an unassuming way, whether he knew it or not. And so to get to work with him up close and see that in person was definitely very valuable to me.
Now, there was some criticism of the Nets hiring you. There's so much attention now, rightly so, on giving people of color opportunities. There's critics who have said that you, quote, skipped the line for this opportunity. What is your response to having heard all that?
Well, they're both valid discussions. You know, I mean, I think skipping the line, and frankly, I did skip the line. You know, there's a lot of people that are grinding, trying to make a career for themselves as coaches. I think this is a little unique in that I led NBA teams for almost 2 decades. So very few people perhaps can say that they had that opportunity or perspective. But, you know, I did, and I had to own that. And, you know, I'll have to catch up in many ways and grow. I think I have a unique perspective, like I said, but I definitely have a lot to learn as well, and I have to have a great support system and build a team together. So that is, you know, that's one side of the debate. The other side, you know, look, this is a terrible time. We're realizing more and more that there's great injustice in our communities. You know, I as a white man, whether we want to admit it or not, we benefit from white privilege. You know, we do, and we have to admit that, own that. We don't have to pay for the sins of the people that came before us, but we can make a huge impact on the future. So for me, I'm sensitive to the topic. I'm a big ally and supporter for racial justice, for equality, and I want to be here and I want to support not only the great work that the Tsai family is doing, the pledge they've made within the organization and in the community to make change, a very meaningful and incredible pledge, but also the Coaches Association, who have been, I think, great leaders. You know, my college teammate Lloyd Pierce has been leading that in many ways. Incredibly proud of him, and I want to be here as an ally and a component of that fight for what's right. You know, it's just right and wrong, and there's no room for inequality. And we may not fix it all at once, but we can make change. And together we have to, follow the size lead, follow the coaches lead, and I'll be an ally in all those fights.
Well, there's going to be a huge microscope, as you knew, when taking this job, Steve, doing all of those things, because the expectations for this Nets roster, with it now in the shape it is, a lot of people see this as a title contending team. What are your expectations for your first year?
Well, I think that's where we should be looking. I think we have the talent, we have the culture, organization, fundamentals, and foundation that compete for everything. So, I'm not Babe Ruth pointing this right now, but I think our expectations are high. Would that be the kiss of death for a rookie coach? College championship on day one. But we have to push ourselves.
You could say not one, not two, not three. That's been done before.
We have high expectations, and we want to build and frame everything we do on being our best. And if we're at our best, I think that we want to believe that we can contend.
Absolutely, Steve. Well, I got to tell you, thank you so much for joining us. I know that, this has been such a busy and crazy week. I also know that if anyone in Brooklyn wants soccer lessons in addition to basketball coaching, this is going to be a fantastic opportunity for all of that. Really best of luck, Steve. This is going to be so much fun to watch you go.
Thanks, Rachel. Take care.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.